Yo, so I've been getting a few questions recently. A few people saying that they're in a rut and they don't know how to get out of it. It's like feeling lost. Once upon a time, I was a far better version of what I am now. That's essentially what a rut is. Reflecting back on an old you, thinking that's the type of person that I would rather be. I'd rather have that guy's habits, that guy's behaviors, that guy's discipline. I did have that once upon a time, and now I seem to have lost touch. Ruts are also your own doing. External factors and other people, while they play a part, they're not responsible for you feeling the way that you're feeling now. And that's a good thing because you've controlled that. Okay, it's not good that you're in a rut, but if you've got yourself to that position, you're the only one that can get yourself out. If you're feeling shit, it is on you to sort it out. It's not on anyone else. And even though you've got people that love you and care for you, it's not on them to make you feel better. They will try and help, but help, like, if you're not ready to receive it or you don't want to make that change internally, it's just useless, right? It's like people going into rehab. If they're forced into rehab, normally it's unsuccessful. If they want to go themselves and they volunteer themselves to go, it's a different story because that desire to change is within them. That's why it's successful. So it's the same thing here. Like, don't sit there fucking sobbing and feeling sorry for yourself. Just start to put some plans in place mentally to think, right, I'm the one responsible. I've got myself into this position. I'm going to be the one to get myself out. When you're in that rut, understand you've got yourself to that point. So all you have to do to get out is get aware, identify how you've ended up where you are, and then reverse engineer basically what you've done. 9 times out of 10, ruts are all pretty much caused by the same thing, right? Which is lack of structure in some form, lack of discipline in some form. It will vary from person to person, but these things are always common. Lack of direction, not knowing where they are now, and not knowing where they want to go. So what you need to do first is just look at your life over the last however many months. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling versus how I used to live and operate when I felt good? Well, I used to train 5 times a week. I used to really look after what I was putting in my body. I had a really great sleep routine. And now you look at it and you think, oh, 2 of those things have slipped. I'm in bed late every night. I get up after my first alarm. I'm eating shit. I'm barely training. The answer's obvious, right? And I'm not saying it's going to be that obvious for every single person, but if you just do some reflecting and introspection and you look at yourself and how you used to be, compare that version that you're looking back at thinking, oh, I didn't used to be in a rut with the version now, there are immediately going to be some red flags that pop up. Those are the first things that you identify. After that, you need to think about where you're going. So the first step, where are you now? How have you got to where you are now? The second step is where are you going next? If you don't know where you're going, it's going to be very, very hard to actually get away from where you are now. So you need to set up some form of goal, some form of objective to work towards. Maps have been about for thousands of years, right? Crucial for humans to get about. Imagine life now without Google Maps. We'd all be fucked. But a map is only useful because we have a destination or we know a destination that we're trying to go to. The map is the thing that gets us there. So a map is only really useful if you know where you want to go. So step 1, identify where you are. Step 2, identify where you want to go. Get very, very clear on that. The clearer you get, the more precise it is, and the clearer the roadmap or the road out from where you are now becomes. If you want to go to France, okay, that is a destination. But if you want to go to Paris, that's more of an accurate description of where you're going. If you want to go to a certain street in Paris, that's even more accurate. It's even more clear. That's what you need. You need to understand exactly where it is that you want to go. Step 3 are your daily habits and things that you do on a daily basis. These are absolutely crucial. Habits themselves, when you choose to live by good habits, they have value in themselves. Let's say it's 8 hours sleep, or you're going to bed at a certain time, you're waking up at a certain time. That itself has benefit. It's going to make tomorrow a better day if you're getting enough sleep. If you have the habit of reading 20 pages of a self-development book every day, there is value in that. You're going to learn something from that book and from reading every day. All habits have value in themselves, but also practicing these daily, and this for me is equally as valuable Practicing them daily is building trust within yourself. You know that you're spending your time doing something useful. And when you're in a position like a rut, you've lost trust in yourself. That is part of what a rut is. So you need to build that trust back. And the easiest way to do that, the most impactful in a short space of time, is to develop better habits. I'm not saying the best habits. I'm not saying go crazy with getting up at 4 a.m. and reading 100 pages and all that. If you're not doing any of that right now, start small. You can always build on it, right? If you're getting out of bed at 7 o'clock, get out of bed at 6. If you're not reading at all, 10 minutes of reading a day. Start small, stack some wins, build some momentum, build some trust back into yourself. Once you've got the wheels in motion, it's not hard to keep it in motion. You've just got to start. Once they start, they realize, oh shit, I should have done this weeks ago. It's just getting to that point. You need to get the wheels in motion. You need to build up some momentum, and then it will carry you through. You will find yourself pushing more and more for better habits. All right, I was getting out of bed at 7. I changed that to 6. That's locked in now. Right, I'm going to get up at 5:30. It could be anything. It might not be that wake up time is an issue for you. Just apply these ideas and examples to something that is impactful in your life or negatively impacting your life. A framework I always use with clients: push and pull. There's times where you're going to have to push into what you're doing. Push requires force, requires intention, and it implies that there is a little bit of friction in what you're doing. That's normal. Get on with it. If you push for long enough, it will start to pull you in. This is typical with a lot of people that have joined the team from a position of feeling like they're in a rut, feeling like they can't get out of the position that they're in right now. They get a little dopamine hit when they sign up, but the hard work is still there to be done, right? They haven't really done anything yet. So they've got a little micro win. They know that they're in the right place. They're doing the right thing, that at least they've taken action. The legwork hasn't been done at this point, granted, but they're on the right tracks. They start, they feel good, they feel better, but it's still tough. This is the friction that I'm talking about. This is pushing into it. Look, tick your boxes daily, do it every day, complete a week. That's a massive win. Go into the next week, same mindset, tick your boxes daily, complete another week. Before you know it, you've done a month. Every single day it's got a little bit easier. You're stacking wins. All of a sudden, it flips from a push to a pull. And that is when the handbrake and the limiter is taken off properly. Everything starts to click, and that is when you realize, oh shit, I am fully out of this rut now. You figure out where you are now and what's led you to this point. Then you figure out exactly where you're trying to go. That will give you the road out. Establish daily habits, personal to you, that allow you to practice discipline every single day, build trust back within yourself, build momentum. Then you push, push, push. Eventually, when you push enough, it pulls. And you just pulled in. And then that's when everything starts to click. That's when you realize you're out of this rut for good. You're never looking back. I'm never getting into that position again. And then you keep building on everything that you've put in place to begin with. So to start with, just make it very simple. Like I say, if you're not going to the gym at all, don't set yourself 6 days training a week. Do 10,000 fucking steps. Like, just do something better than what you're currently doing. A lot of you guys are probably in the gym a lot right now. You're probably doing a lot of the right things. Just apply it relative to where you are now. So just do something slightly better than what you've currently been doing, recently. Always update the things that I'm talking about. You update where you are now. Even if you're in a great position, why are you there? That's reinforcing all of the habits and how important they are. I feel really aligned with training, with work, with fitness, mindset. You've got to take stock of that. Well, why do I feel that way? Oh, well, it's because of X, Y, Z. You cement it then in your head. I recognize that this, and this is what makes me feel like I'm really aligned and I know what I'm doing and I'm very, very clear on where I'm going. It cements it in your head, so I'll never get to a point of a rut again. I just won't. It just will never happen. Update where you are. Always take stock of that. Update where you're going. Make it as clear as possible. And as time goes on and you get stuck into these goals, you will want to make them clearer and clearer and clearer and more specific. Again, think about the map. The more specific you get with where you're going, the clearer the road becomes, because it's going to take you exactly there. Not just a general area. It will take you to the exact point that you're trying to get to. Make sure you update your habits regularly as well. Don't stick with what you originally set out. Improve upon them, add to them, make the existing ones a progressed version of what they started out at. This is how you chase constant progression. This is how you get out of a rut. And another big one actually is organization. A lot of people just aren't fucking organized. This is just a standard. It's just laziness not to be organized. For those people, anyone that applies to, my challenge for you right now off the back of watching this video is going and creating a digital calendar. I use Google Calendar. You can do Apple Calendar, or I'm sure Android have one. Set your week out in calendar format. Give yourself structure. Give yourself the best possible chance of getting out of the position that you're currently in.